Hey everyone, it's Jared here, and today I'm going to do an updated version of my complete Blu-ray collection. Now I did do one years ago that was just Blu-rays, but um, the more subsequent, like complete overview collection videos I've done, I've showed both Blu-rays and DVDs in the same thing. This time I decided to just show the Blu-rays because I now have the Blu-rays a lot more organized than my DVDs. Yes, even though I do think Blu-ray is the better format, I do generally have a lot more DVDs than I do Blu-rays, I will say. And I've just recently gotten a new shelving unit. The Blu-rays are nicely organized, and yeah, I thought I'd show them now in this video. So yeah, hope you enjoy. First off, I'll show the box sets that I own. So I've here Batman. These are the Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher Batman films, and then Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, I do like Batman films very much. Although I mean, Batman and Robin is a real disaster, but in a way, like it's the sort of movie that's kind of fascinating with how much of a disaster it is. I mean, I don't mind Batman Forever that much. I don't dislike it as much as some other people do. The first 6 Fast and Furious movies, and we have James Bond collection. Nice. Unfortunately, it does have Die Another Day. Oh God. But yeah, I do like the other films on here, and yeah, I have met Madeline Smith, who is in Live and Let Die. So like from the original Bond timeline, and then we have the first 3 Daniel Craig Bond films. Yes, very good. And then a good spoof of James Bond. We have the Johnny English trilogy. Yeah, funny films. And apparently, they are working on a 4th one. I mean, it was announced a while ago that they were making it. I don't know when it's coming up, but hopefully the 4th one will be good. I like the first 3. Then we have the Jurassic Park trilogy. The first 3. Yeah, the first one's the best. I somewhat like some parts of the sequels, but yeah, obviously the first one's the best. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, another classic one. Smokey and the Bandit. I do like the first 2. I will say, not so much the third. Stanley Kubrick collection. Yeah, he was a great director. Yeah, in fact he's probably my favorite director, in all honesty. And yeah, I do like all the films on here. I have seen all of them. Yeah, that's a fantastic collection to have. And I do have the Vacation collection. Love these movies. Although I don't like Vegas Vacation that much, but the other 3 I do like. My favorite would have to be the Christmas one. That's a great film. And then 2 other box sets that I have are the X-Men collection. It's 8 movies, and then the Transformers collection, the first 3 movies at least. And then here I have 2 TV box sets. I have Red Dwarf, the original run of it. I think was from the stuff from 1988 through to 1999. I think it was. This was before it got brought back in like 2006 or something. But yeah, very good show. And there's Doctor Who. That's the 11th series. That was Jodie Whittaker's first series. I also have this really cool VHS style release of the Blues Brothers. It is actually a Blu-ray, but it's in the style of VHS. I think it's really cool, and the movie itself is fantastic. I love this movie. It's just like a VHS under that sleeve, and yeah, but then there's discs in there, so that's cool. Now we get into, I guess, the main Blu-ray cases where I have these all alphabetized. So yeah, I have them in alphabetical order, and then yeah, they go down to there, and then there's my Doctor Who DVDs. But then the alphabetical order of the Blu-rays continues on the new shelving unit that I got recently. So yeah, I'll talk about the. I won't talk about each of them individually, but just some of the ones that I have something I want to say about them. So yeah, I have Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. Yeah, I think that was the last one they did of those monster movies, and I think it was like the penultimate Abbott and Costello movie that they did together. Yeah. Alan Partridge After Papa, I think, is a funny movie of the Alan Partridge character. We have Ashens and the Quest for the Game Child. I do really like this movie. It's from the YouTuber Ashens. He's a great YouTuber. There is a sequel to this, which I have seen. I watched it on Amazon Prime. There is a Blu-ray of the sequel, but I think it's a bit difficult to get. I think it's like you buy it from the Ashens store website, but I don't know. I found it difficult to order. But I have seen the sequel online on Amazon. Yeah, I did enjoy the sequel a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Baby Driver, absolutely awesome movie. It's fantastic. There's A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the Mr. Rogers movie. Mr. Rogers wasn't so much known in the UK. That I came to really admire him after watching this movie, and also a documentary about him, which I also have on Blu-ray. So I'll get to that later. Beetlejuice, classic Tim Burton movie. You could say like his first proper like Tim Burton movie that's his creation, because he did direct Pee-wee's Big Adventure before this, but he didn't create the Pee-wee character or anything. So that was really his first movie where it was his creation. And it's a classic, really. Being There, classic Peter Sellers movie. I am a big fan of Peter Sellers. You see, I have a few more of his films on Blu-ray. Yeah, this is great, and it's a Criterion release. Yeah, it's very nice. Bruno, I think it's funny. It's not to everyone's taste, but I do like it. Bugsy Malone. This is a fantastic movie, one of my all-time favorites. I'd say for me, it's probably have to be my second favorite movie of all time. And I will get to my number one favorite later on. I do also have it on Blu-ray. But Bugsy Malone is absolutely fantastic. It was the first feature film debut from Alan Parker, who he did also direct this movie, Angela's Ashes. And Bugsy Malone, it's his first film. It's a lot more light-hearted compared to a lot of the stuff he did later, but Bugsy Malone would have to be my favorite film from him. He did also do the Pink Floyd movie The Wall, which is another favorite of mine. But yeah, Bugsy Malone, fantastic. Carry On Screaming, one of my absolute favorites in the Carry On series. Love this movie. Cats Don't Dance. It's a good film that's sort of a tribute to 1930s Hollywood, with talking animals and everything. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Child's Play 1 and 2, both great movies. Citizen Kane, often called the best movie of all time. For me, there are other movies I prefer, but I do think it is very good. And I do understand that, I understand why it's seen as a revolutionary film and everything. Coco, good Pixar film. And I know it's a bit weird having this under C, because none of these movies, not under the C, but under the letter, with the letter C's, because none of these films begin with C, but I put it here because it's the Cornetto trilogy. So that's why it's there. But I do really like these films, especially the first two. I do like The World's End as well, but I do think the first two, Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, are more my go-to sort of films. There's Corvette Summer, a movie that Mark Hamill did right after Star Wars. But it was nowhere near as successful as Star Wars. I think it might have bombed, or it wasn't as successful as Star Wars. But I think it's not a bad film, really. This is the Dad's Army movie that was like the rebooted movie, because they did do a movie in the 70s that was with the cast of the show. This was like a movie they did like 10 years ago that's with the new cast. Dogman, I quite enjoyed this. When it comes to the books, I'm more of a Captain Underpants guy, but I did quite enjoy this film for what it was. Doctor Strangelove, fantastic movie. As I've said before, I'm a big fan of both Stanley Kubrick and Peter Sellers. So, this is a great film from the both of them. The Peter Cushing Doctor Who movies, Doctor Who and the Daleks, and Daleks Invasion of Earth. Yeah, I think they're fun. They're not really canon to the show. They have the Doctor being, he's not even called the Doctor, he's called Doctor Who, and he's just the human who built a time machine in the shape of a police phone box for some reason. Yeah, but I think they're pretty fun movies. And then I do have Doctor Who Spearhead from Space. Um, I haven't got the new like Blu-ray box sets that they've released. I think for a while this was the only classic Doctor Who story that was available on Blu-ray because of the way it was shot. Like, I think it was shot on film or something. I'm not really an expert when it comes to that sort of thing, to be honest. But yeah, for a long time this was the only classic Doctor Who story on Blu-ray. But I guess Blu-ray technology has gotten better since then, so they've been able to release whole box sets of the classic series. But yeah, but it does look really good on this release. And yeah, it is a very good story. It's Pertwee's first story as the Doctor. Yeah. I do really enjoy that, and I do have it after those because those two Doctor Who movies, they have it spelt Dr. because it's his name is Doctor Who in those. But with it being the TV show, it's spelt out the word Doctor. But yeah, but I put that after those because it's connected to it being part of Doctor Who, even though the Peter Cushing movies aren't canon. And speaking of Peter Cushing, this is a movie that has him in it. Dracula AD 1972. I do like this. It's a more campy Dracula movie, but it has Dracula in modern day, well, what was then modern day, that being 1972. And it has Caroline Munro in it, who I've met a number of times. She's been really nice. Yeah, I think it's a pretty fun movie. And then Fast and Furious 7 and 8, those were the two that weren't in the box set that I showed earlier. Yeah, I do rather enjoy it. 7 would have to be my favourite in the series, both because of how it paid tribute to Paul Walker, but I think it also has like great action. It's just a lot of fun in general. Yeah, Ghost and Mr. The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, a Don Knotts movie. I remember this being quite fun. And the Godfather trilogy. What great films these are. Well, mainly, I'd say the first two. I might have to give the third one another watch, but I wasn't quite sure how to feel about that third one at first. But the first two are fantastic movies. Yeah, I often, I often kind of think that Godfather is a perfect trilogy, as long as you consider Bugsy Malone to be the true Godfather Part 3. But yeah, but I might give the third Godfather another watch. Yeah. Godzilla -1 and Godzilla versus Biolante, both Godzilla movies that I enjoyed. This is a Criterion release, and I know that there is a Criterion box set of the Showa era of Godzilla, because I think that's from what's known as the Heisei era. Yeah, the Showa era is the original era of Godzilla movies, and it's just a really big box set, and it's a box set where it's like a book full of like Japanese artwork, which does look kind of cool, but yeah, it's very expensive, and the book is and box set is very big, so yeah, but it would certainly be cool to get a box set with all those Showa era Godzilla movies in. You've got Good Burger. It lives up to its title. It is very good. It's very funny. This movie always makes me laugh. I love this. And I did enjoy the sequel as well, which is on Paramount Plus. The sequel got a Blu-ray release in America. I'm not sure if it did in the UK, but I have watched it on Paramount Plus, and I did enjoy it. It was funny. Then we have two movies in a row that are from the 1940s and that are satirizing Nazis and stuff. So we have the Will Hain movie, The Goose Steps Out. I do enjoy this movie. It is funny, but I do prefer the next movie here, which is Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator. What a fantastic movie this is. It's a Criterion. And I do like how you can turn the cover upside down so it switches from him to Chaplin. Yeah. Yeah, and also two movies in a row that have the word "great" in the title that certainly live up to their name. It's the Great Race by Blake Edwards. This is a fantastic movie. Blake Edwards will have to be one of my favorite directors as well. And this, I mentioned before, Bugsy Malone is like probably my second favorite movie of all time. I'd say The Great Race is probably my number one. Yes, I do think those two for me are very close. And being my favorite movies, I love both of them so much. So, yeah, those are my two favorite movies of all time. In all honesty, we have Guest House Paradiso, sort of the film version of Bottom, the TV show. Um, I've seen this movie before. I do have it on DVD, but I haven't watched this Indicator release yet. It might have. I mean, the DVD already has a lot of great special features on it, but maybe this release might have more. Yeah, I think it's a funny movie. It's good, sort of loose adaptation of the show. Hundreds of Beavers. I think it's a fun movie. Sort of an homage to old black and white, like old silent comedies, as well as like classic cartoons. It's a mad, 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 mad world. What can you say? One of the great comedies. It's a fantastic movie. I love this. The two Jumanji movies with The Rock. Love these movies. I know there's a third one in the works. I think it's been a while since they've done the last one, but hopefully the third one will be good. The third Dwayne Johnson one, I mean. We have Kind Hearts and Coronets, good film. Got King Kong versus Godzilla and King Kong Escapes, the two King Kong movies made by Toho. Yeah, I do like both of those. They're both very good, campy King Kong movies. The King of Comedy, great film. Yeah, Robert De Niro and Jerry Lewis. Yeah, directed by the great Martin Scorsese. Fantastic movie. The Lady Killers, another great one. Peter Sellers, Alec Guinness, fantastic actors. Herbert Lom as well. Yeah, great movie. Then under L, we do have some Laurel and Hardy's. Now is Laurel and Hardy: The Silent Years, 1927. Now they have done other box sets of their silent films. They did another one for their films from 1928, and they they've either just released 1929 or they're going to soon. But yeah, this doesn't just include their films from 1927. It has like their very first film, which is from 1921, called The Lucky Dog, and then the second film like they appeared in together was it was 45 Minutes from Hollywood, and that was from 1926. But yeah, those are just two that are on here that are before 1927. The rest of them are from that year. Now down here we have some more Laurel and Hardy's. It is the very best of Laurel and Hardy, which includes those feature films from them and also some shorts. The Flying Juices. Yeah, it is a very funny film. Definitely my favorite film they made outside of Hal Roach Studios. It feels out of their non-Hal Roach films, that's definitely the one that feels the most like a Hal Roach film to me. Atoll K, the film itself is not great. It was their final film, but this is a really nice release. It has some great special features on it, and yeah, it's nice to have something that's like a bit more obscure in their filmography. But yeah, it's not the sort of thing you'd recommend somebody to watch if they haven't seen Laurel and Hardy before. It's more the sort of film you watch if you're a completionist and you want to see all their films. And the Stan and Ollie movie, this is just a fantastic movie. I know it's not entirely accurate, but it's just such a great love letter to the legends of Laurel and Hardy. Yeah, Lavender Hill Mob, another good like Ealing comedy with Alec Guinness. The Meg, I remember quite liking this. I haven't seen the second one yet. There's the Men in Black films. I love the first one, and I somewhat like the third one. Not crazy about the other two. There's A Million Ways to Die in the West, the Seth MacFarlane film, and Mothra, another good kaiju film. And now we're onto the new shelving unit that I've just got recently. Yeah, so continuing in the alphabetical order, we have Mr. Topaz, Topaz, I can't remember how you pronounce it, but this was a pretty enjoyable Peter Sellers film, which is actually directed by him. So it was definitely interesting to see for that reason. Monster Go Home, this is the original Monsters movie that they made in the 60s with the cast of the show, although they did recast Marilyn again. She already had two different actresses in the TV show. It's a different actress again in this. Then there's Rob Zombie's Monsters movie, and yeah, I definitely prefer like the original Monsters movie, although I didn't quite dislike Rob Zombie's version as much as some other people did. Mystery Men, this is a fun movie. Yeah, just a lot of fun. Very underrated, really. Um, the Naked Gun reboot, or as a certain someone would call it,
Naked Gun.
Yeah, I do prefer the originals with Leslie Nielsen, but I thought this was quite fun when I saw it. We have One Crazy Summer. This is I think it's a pretty funny movie. I think it's a good movie to watch around the summertime. It gets you into that summer feeling. And I have met two of the actors who are in this movie. I've met Bobcat Goldthwait and Mark Metcalf at the same convention. Yeah, I had a nice experience meeting both of them. It was a great convention overall, I will say. I did recently listen to the commentary on here, which has Bobcat on it, so that was nice. I always enjoy hearing from him. Oppenheimer, yeah, it's a good film. The real life story, that it's based on, is very interesting, and I think it's told in a very interesting way in this film. I like how it has both color and black and white, and also has different aspect ratios and everything. The Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, it's so cool that it got Criterion release. Yeah, it is a good film itself. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, very surprisingly good sequel. I'd say better than the first. And I will say, I have taken off the slip covers for a lot of them because I think a lot of the time they look better without the slip covers. But I have made some exceptions. Like I've kept it on this, and yeah, I like when they have the blue at the top like that. Yeah, I haven't completely disposed of the slip covers. I do still have them, but I don't really like keep them on when I have them on display here. Yeah, red. Scorsese shorts. Yeah, some like short documentaries made by Martin Scorsese, and also some like short films. Yeah, there's some pretty interesting stuff on here. We have Scrooged, a pretty good modernized version of the Christmas Carol story with Bill Murray as like a TV executive, and he's making an adaptation of Christmas Carol in the movie, although they always call it Scrooge in this. Yeah, and it has Bobcat Goldthwait in it, who, as I mentioned, I met. The original Shaft trilogy, again, yeah, this one. The Godfather trilogy was in a similar thing where it's like a sideways slip case, and it's also like a harder case than like you'd usually get on like something like this. So that's why I've kept it in this, as with the Godfather one. But yeah, I do like all three of these movies. I do think Shaft is really cool. Singing in the Rain, classic musical. The Smallest Show on Earth, yeah, another really good Peter Sellers movie. Song of the South, the movie Disney doesn't want you to see. Yeah, this is a Spanish, like unofficial release. And I do know there is an Italian release which is apparently better quality than this. Yeah, I've heard the quality is better, but it also seems like the release itself is better. I think it does have like some art cards or something in it. But yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, I'm glad to actually have a copy of the movie since Disney doesn't want you to see it. I mean, I don't quite agree with the banning of that movie. The Sparks Brothers, an absolutely fantastic documentary from Edgar Wright. Yeah, I did show before Baby Driver and the Cornetto trilogy, which he also directed. He's a great director for making those. This is an absolutely fantastic documentary, even if you don't know anything about Sparks. Yeah, it's your favorite band's favorite band. Yeah, that's a good description of them. But even if you don't know anything about them, highly recommend this documentary. It's absolutely fantastic. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, or as a certain someone would call it,
Spider-Man across the spider hell or across the spider turd or ass.
Yeah, but yeah, great movie. This. Hopefully, the third one, Beyond the Spider Verse, will be good, and hopefully they don't treat the animators badly again. The third one, yeah. Next, I do have two SpongeBob movies. Yeah, the first one will always be the best, but I don't have that one on Blu-ray. So I have. So this is the second movie, Sponge Out of Water, and then this one. It's considered the fourth main SpongeBob movie, although on Netflix they did have the Plankton movie and the Sandy Cheeks movie, which are considered more like spin-offs. But yeah, this is the fourth like main SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. The first movie will always be the best, but I think these two are pretty enjoyable films for what they are. And Mario, the original Super Mario Brothers movie, and then also like the animated one. And I have also seen the second animated one, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which was also a lot of fun. Yeah, I did like this one as well, and I don't mind the live action movie from the 90s actually. Yeah, it is kind of it's kind of a fun movie for how bizarre it is. Stand by Me, what a fantastic movie this is! Absolutely love this movie. Um, Rest in peace to Rob Reiner, who what happened to him last year was just really shocking. Yeah, yeah, from it by his own son. Yeah, that's really shocking. Yeah, this is a fantastic movie. Rest in peace, River Phoenix as well. They're all great young actors in this. And Rob Reiner directed it, I should say. Um, Star Trek, yeah, and this is a good example of why I kept this slipcover, is that you do need it because it's with this one it's like it's not even labeled if you don't have the slipcover on it. So that's the rare example of when I want to keep a slipcover. I have that in Into Darkness, and I have the third one on DVD, Star Wars: Force Awakens. I think not bad, but it's just this trilogy, this sequel trilogy, just didn't pan out very well. The Ted movies, Ted 1 and 2, they are funny movies, and I do also like the TV show. I have the first season of the Ted TV series on DVD, and I know season 2 has come out on Peacock. I don't have Peacock, so hopefully it will get a DVD release like the first season did. But I've heard season 2 is actually really good. The Third Man, again, along with Citizen Kane, is like one of Orson Welles' most iconic roles. I know he didn't direct this. He directed Citizen Kane, but this one he just acted in it. But it's still a very iconic role from him. Yeah, a very good film. Tootsie, it's a pretty funny movie with Dustin Hoffman, where he creates this female persona to become an actress on this soap opera. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a Criterion release. I have Unbreakable, and then the other two in that sort of trilogy. It might be a bit odd to have that under You, but it's because they're related to Unbreakable. They're also known as like the Eastrail 177 trilogy. Yeah, but Unbreakable, the first one, would have to be my favorite. It's a fantastic movie, and hopefully it's not a spoiler. I mean, I think a lot of people know it nowadays, but yeah, in case you didn't know, spoilers. It is secretly connected to Unbreakable, and I thought really that was a very creative twist. Yeah, you don't usually see that. The twist is that it's secretly connected to another movie. Yeah, Violent Night. And we have Won't You Be My Neighbor. This is a fantastic documentary about Fred Rogers. I watched this before I watched the Tom Hanks movie about him. Yeah, this used to be on Netflix in the UK, and that was how I watched it. Yeah, Mr. Rogers wasn't so much a well-known figure in the UK, but after watching this, I gained a lot of respect and admiration for him. It, this is just a fantastic documentary showing what a wonderful person he was. Really, uh, yeah, would highly recommend this documentary for anyone really. And I've just realised that it should be behind here because it's the I is after, because the O is after the I, isn't it, in the alphabet? Yeah, yeah. So next, an all-time classic. What can you say? Hasn't already been said. The Wizard of Oz. What a great film this is. An all-time classic. Yeah. And then next to it, another version of The Wizard of Oz, The Wiz, which I also quite enjoyed. You know, I know the 1939 Judy Garland film is one of the all-time classic movies. Some people might not think like there should be another adaptation of the story, but I did quite enjoy this for what it was, and it was based on like a popular stage play. Uh, I know the play was like very popular, but the movie bombed. But the movie has gained a bit of a cult following. Yeah, I did quite like it. Then Won't You Be My Neighbor, which I already showed because it was accidentally before the others. Wonka, which I quite liked. Um, and then there's The Wrong Arm of the Law, a pretty good Peter Sellers movie. And then down here, I do have the MCU movies. I have them together. So I have the Avengers movies and then the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Um, yeah, I decided to keep these separate. I don't have a whole lot of them. Yeah, you can watch, I think, pretty much all of them on Disney Plus. But yeah, I mean, I do rather like these films. I haven't so much kept up with the newer stuff. Um, yeah, I'm not so much interested in like a lot of the Disney Plus shows that they've done, and the fact that you have to watch the episodes of the shows to understand the movies that come out, like that's a bit much in my opinion. But yeah, I do rather like some of these films. Yeah. And then here are the HMV Premium Blu-rays that I own. Yes, I did do a video years ago that was just on my HMV Premium collection, and I have thought of doing an updated version since it has grown a little bit since then. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of them, and I think they have unfortunately stopped doing these. Although you can still buy a lot of the older ones at HMV. Yeah, so if I do another HMV Premium collection, I'll go more into detail than I will here. But yeah, you can see them from here. I will point out I've got the original King Kong, which is nice. I did show earlier that I have the two Toho King Kong movies. It's nice to have the original. Yeah, it'll have to be my favorite version of King Kong. And I do have the first Shaft movie, which, as I showed before, I do also have that one and the two original sequels in a DVD set together. So, yeah. But I do think these premium editions are really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I quite enjoyed making it. I enjoyed talking about the titles that I have in my collection and yeah, just sharing that with you. And yeah, if you want, you could comment what are some of your favorite things that I have in my collection. And do you own any of that stuff as well? That would be nice to hear about. Um, and yeah, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for whenever my next video will be. See ya.